Welcome to Practice What You Teach. This week, we wrap up the first season of the show, and it's been so fun and exciting to chat with all of the guests that have joined me over the last 9 months. This show is near and dear to my heart, and it's been so wonderful to be able to share it with you. If you haven't had the chance to catch up on all the episodes yet, they're available on YouTube and mindfullybalancedtherapy.com. Any videos that hit home for you or you really like, hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you know when season 2 is out and ready to go. Each of the last 17 episodes focused on helpers and healers sharing with us their habits, tools, techniques, strategies, all of the things that they use themselves in their own personal lives. Some of them were even able to give us ideas of some really tangible, easy to use strategies so we can try these things ourselves. Today, I want to share with you a skill that I use myself. It combines concepts from Esther's Wise Mind episode in the fall with Jessica's breathing techniques from the most recent episode. I call it the breathe in what you need, out what you don't method. It combines relaxing, deep breathing along with some centering and clarifying, really helping me to figure out what it is that I need in the moment when I'm feeling stressed. With the breathing part of this practice, we're going to focus on really breathing with our bellies all the way down in the depths of our lungs. When we focus on filling up our whole lungs from the bottom to the top, it's almost going to feel like we're breathing with our stomachs. And we might even kind of feel our stomach inflate when we breathe in, and we might feel it kind of shrink back down when we breathe out, almost kind of like a balloon. And so it looks a little bit something like this. So next I go ahead and I pair that with a clarifying practice. And so this is where I try to think of one word or a short phrase that really describes what is it that I'm feeling in that moment that I'm needing to get rid of, that I want to get out of my body, to set aside. And then what is one word or a short phrase that really kind of describes what is it that I'm needing more of? What do I want to fill my body with? What do I feel like I need to feel nurtured, cared for, loved? And I really imagine with these breaths, when I go and I breathe in and I pause and then I breathe out, I imagine that word or phrase of the thing that I want to get rid of leaving my body. I literally imagine the letters like spilling out of my mouth on that out breath. And then when I pause at the bottom, I bring back that word or phrase of what I need to fill myself back up with. And when I breathe in, I imagine those letters or words coming in my nose and filling my entire body. Or maybe if I'm kind of noticing that I'm feeling like really anxious in my stomach and it's kind of sitting there like a pit in my stomach, maybe I focus on breathing in whatever I need and imagine it going straight to that pit, straight to that space to fill it up with love or care. I am not an artistic person. For those of you who've been able to see some of my drawings, I do not have a creative artistic bone in my body. I have tried that fancy hand lettering calligraphy thing plenty of times, and I do not have the gift. That being said, when I do this exercise, I picture the words or phrases in some of that bubbly handwriting. And so when I'm breathing in, that word and those fancy bubbly letters is coming in through my nose, filling my body. And then when I breathe out, the thing I want to get rid of, those bubbly letters are coming out and it's leaving my body. So thinking about a recent example, this past Monday, I was feeling very overwhelmed looking at my to-do list for the week and all of the things that I had on that list, and then looking at my calendar and seeing what limited time that I had to get everything done. And I just was feeling very anxious, very overwhelmed, all of that stuff, kind of definitely feeling that pit in my stomach that I just mentioned a second ago. And I just felt like I needed more time to be able to get all of this stuff done. And so I started this exercise, this breathing exercise, by breathing in time, because that's what I thought that I needed, and out overwhelm. And so as I did that breath, breathing in time, out overwhelm, in time, out overwhelm, in time, out overwhelm. And after a few of those, I realized it wasn't really overwhelm that I was feeling. It was that I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to get it all done in this like specific amount of time. So it wasn't really overwhelm that I needed to get out of my body. It was pressure on myself. And so I was breathing in time, out pressure, in time, out pressure. After a couple of those, I realized it wasn't really time that I needed. It's that I felt like I needed some kind of organization to like figure it out, figure out a game plan and get it all done. So I breathed in organization and out pressure. And after only one of those, I realized I am naturally a very organized person with more lists than I need. I don't need to make another list of what I need to do. More organization isn't going to help this feeling. It's that I really needed patience. I needed patience with myself to get done what I could, patience with myself to work as quickly as I could at these things, and patience with myself to let the things that were not urgent wait until the next week when I maybe had some more time. So I kind of did that one for a little bit, breathing in patience and out pressure, in patience, out pressure, in patience, out pressure. All in all, the exercise was about 10-ish deep breaths. And by the time it was done, not only did I feel like my body was more relaxed because I took 10 slow, deep breaths and felt my body a little bit more at ease, but I was also able to clarify for myself. It's not just that I was overwhelmed by not having enough time. It's that I really like needed to be patient with myself to feel less of that pressure, which was also coming from myself in the moment. I've used this strategy in some other ways too. I know that there have been times where I might have like a minor headache when I'm trying to go to bed. And so I, in those situations, will breathe in rest and out pain and just kind of focus on those words: in rest, out pain, in rest, out pain. That one doesn't tend to evolve very much in terms of the words that I use. And oftentimes I just do that until I end up falling asleep. There are certainly times where sometimes I might be feeling something and I might not know exactly what the word is, or maybe I might be feeling too much of the feeling in the moment to put a label on it. And so if, for example, something happens and I feel so frustrated and irritated in a moment that I can't even come up with a word to describe how I'm feeling, what I'll do is imagine almost like a color with this breathing. And so maybe in that moment, I feel like I'm just breathing out to this like beam of red. As I'm breathing out, imagining just this red beam kind of coming out, maybe even flames if I'm like super angry in the moment, just kind of breathing that out. And then when I go to breathe in, I think about really imagining this cool healing glow light kind of like coming in through my nose and like filling up that space. And with that one, there's no words connected. It's really just kind of like imagining like the colors of what I'm needing to fill with and what I'm needing to kind of get out. I like this skill a lot because there's not really a right or a wrong way to use it, and it is totally customizable to what it is that you need. And because the words or the colors can kind of evolve and shift with each breath if you need them to, we also don't need to get it right on the first try. We have space to really kind of explore some different words to really describe what those things are in the most authentic and real ways. The other thing that I really like about this is that because we are humans and we breathe all day, every day to survive, it's not something that draws attention if we need to use it in a public space. This is one that I can use if I am sitting in a crowded room, if I'm sitting in a meeting, if I am at a family gathering. This is one that I can use, and it's not going to draw attention. It's not like I'm watching the words like come out of my body and I'm watching them kind of drift away. It's something that, if I can close my eyes, maybe I do, but I can also just kind of focus in on a space and just kind of focus in on that breathing. If I'm feeling really concerned about what people might think that I'm doing or what I'm looking at, I might just kind of pick up my phone and leave it on a blank screen. Don't actually pull up anything to look at, but I might just kind of pull that up and have that be the point that I kind of look at and I lock in on. There's not an article, I'm not reading anything, I'm not doing anything on here, but it gives me something to look at. So for other people in the room, they might just think that I am very intensely reading an article and I am in the zone. Thanks again for tuning into the season 1 finale of Practice What You Teach. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out any of the episodes that you missed so far this season. I am so excited to introduce you to more helpers and healers in season 2 in the fall. In the meantime, follow Mindfully Balanced Therapy on Instagram and Facebook to stay up to date on the things that are going on.